They said it was impossible. They said,
you can't put together the most elite team of comic book reviewers on the planet and do, a podcast or something like that?
Despite all that, today we can proudly announce, yeah, they were right. We couldn't do it. So instead, we brought you the most vile, ignorant, unprofessional group of comic book enthusiasts we could find. This is Panel to Panel, the Game Rage Magazine comic podcast.
To another episode of Panel to Panel. My name is Josh. I'm here today with my good buddy Adam.
I'm thinking that we should just can all the actual theme songs with instruments and all that shit and just do it ourselves like a poverty.
Just fucking do it with mouths. Or what is that? Acapella?
Yeah.
That'd be pretty funny. And do it live every time so it's different. It's never the same. Anyways, welcome to Panel to Panel. Today we're going to be talking about the crossover event that happens in Darth Vader.
Vader Down!
Vader Down!
And, Darth Vader itself and Star Wars, the ongoing series.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about the whole event, which, in case you didn't know, encompasses Darth Vader Down #1, which is a one-shot, Darth Vader numbers 13, 14, 15, and then Star Wars crossover into the actual Star Wars comic, 14 and 15. Or no, 13 and 14. Yeah, 13 and 14 of those. So you get 6 issues. It's a crossover event. I don't know why they felt the need to do this, but whatever. It is what it is. I don't think it hurt. The major criticism, well, we'll get into it, what the major criticism I have is in a second, but this is not going to be like all our normal episodes where we go through the issues individually. Like I said, we're just going to do there's only 2 of us, so it's not really a round table, but this is going to be like a round table just discussion of the whole event, the whole 6-issue event. So before we get into that, if you want to listen to more of our stuff, you go to YouTube and you can like, comment, and subscribe, Game Rage Magazine. You can follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Game Rage Magazine, Twitter/X at Game Rage Mag. You can follow Adam at All Gas No Trash Official on YouTube, and you can go check out the All Gas No Trash podcast, which is the Game Rage music show. You can also go check out Anime Syndicate if you like animes and shit. You can go follow Frank at anime_syndicate_podcast. And stay tuned for the newest episode of Anime Syndicate, where we're going to be talking about episode 2 of Dragon Ball Daima and episode 2 of Dan. I don't know what the fuck that's called, but something with a lot of Dans in it. They should just call it Dan the Anime. That's...
Man, so I was checking out the comments for the theme song. It's like, man, that Pikmin is spitting fire.
Yeah. Yeah. Fucking A. Anyways, all right, so Vader Down. The one criticism that I have really harshly on this is the artwork between the two is so vastly different. Mm-hmm. And it's in terms of quality, like I do not want to read the Star Wars comic ever. It looks like trash.
It looks like shit, yes.
I was like, who the fuck is drawing this?
Yeah.
And why? Because listen, I'll be honest. If you're gonna, and I don't know, maybe it's because Darth Vader is sort of like a bread and butter character, obviously, for Star Wars. So you want to put a good artist, you want to put some good quality into that. It looks like they fucking drew this in the middle of a sandstorm and it's all fucking like the sand got in the ink and shit. And it looks just cloudy and shitty. And it just, I don't know, man, it just does not look good. Some of the looks on Leia's face, because you were talking about guys that do tracers or whatever.
Oh yeah, Salvador LaRocca.
Yeah,
is one of them.
There were some poses that Leia does in the Vader version of it.
Yeah,
and you can tell they ripped that straight from one of the movies. He just traced it from the movie.
Yeah,
I was like, God damn. But I'll tell you what though, I mean, it reminded me of that scene in the movie exactly because it's kind of a weird pose when she's looking to the back.
Yeah,
and you can tell, oh yeah, this is legitimately fucking traced, but. But that's the major criticism I have for this is the artwork in the Star Wars portion of this was essentially AIDS. It was terrible.
I like the Vader Down.
That one was great.
Yeah, it's I can't remember if it's Yeah, it's Mike Diodato, I think, that does the art. Who's fucking writing this comic? I already forgot.
The Vader one?
Yeah, it's Karen Gillan, right?
Let's just see real quick.
I'm already forgetting.
Yeah, Gillan, LaRocca, and Delgado are on this.
All right, so Mike Diodato, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, did the Vader Down standalone issue or the one shot. That shit was kind of cool because it felt like it was. His Vader looks like Vader in the concept art.
Yeah,
which is weird because when you contrast that with the Vader series itself, which is more traditional Vader in what we have seen in the original trilogy, it's cool. But I think just having within this one issue, I didn't really have a problem with it. I'm like, oh, cool. This is kind of like retro Vader, like concept art Vader, the way he was originally portrayed or whatever. Like his helmet looked more like an SS, well, not an SS trooper, but like a Nazi German helmet. Yeah. But I guess we could just start off with the actual story itself. Just kind of hit the main main beats.
The main points. So basically, this is Vader going to Vrogus Voss to find Luke Skywalker.
And he's a plasma devil.
Yeah, he's one of the plasma devils. So as they're leaving out of there, which was funny because this also does give you some nice backstory to Luke Skywalker. Like, oh, in between 4 and 5, he's the guy that blew up the Death Star, but he's also just doing basic ass rebel fucking missions. Like this dude's got like basically won the Medal of Honor from the rebellion, and now they got him on some backwater fucking planet, like just fucking about. Shooting stuff like in the middle of nowhere.
I was half expecting to see Wedge in this thing, but
a little bit, yeah.
They didn't. He was nowhere to be seen, but whatever. They go to this planet Vogravas. Vader gets lured there, or is like set up, not knowing that Vogravas has a base of rebels waiting for him. X-wings. He basically goes 1 on 20 or whatever the fuck it was, like an entire fleet of fucking.
It's like an entire squadron. It's like 2 squadrons of X-wings. But what's funny is, he obviously didn't know that this was going on, but it wasn't even a trap set for him. They didn't know he was coming. They were just out doing fucking exercises. Like they were just doing training.
Yeah.
And then here he is. All of a sudden, this singular TIE fighter shows up, and they're like, "Look at this fucking guy." Like, where'd this fucking asshole come from? And they're like, you know what, let's fuck his shit up. And then all of a sudden, they're getting their shit pushed in because Vader is obviously an excellent pilot, and he's basically using the Force to make their missiles fuck off and, like, go the other ways. It's pretty funny. They're doing this whole thing, and basically, a fucking cool-ass... Once they figure out it's, like, Luke knows it's Vader. Like, he can feel him, and, like, he knows it's him. So, once Luke figures that out, he's like, dude, we ain't gonna be able to stop this guy unless... somebody has to fucking do some drastic shit. So, this is a far cry from whiny farm boy fucking Luke Skywalker. And listen, Luke Skywalker's a whiny bitch in fucking Empire Strikes Back. But this was a fucking... like, this made a man out of him right here. Like, yes, granted, he just killed fucking 80 billion people on a Death Star. But he fucking suicide bombered himself into goddamn Darth Vader to take out Vader, man. Like... the level of commitment you gotta have to fucking suicide bomb yourself, because you don't know if you're gonna fucking survive that. He flew straight into Vader, fucked his shit up. They both fucking fall down to the planet below. Coincidentally. And now everybody's like, oh shit, we gotta find Luke, we gotta kill Vader. Holy shit, this is a monster fucking...
All right. The problem I have with that is that you have this skirmish without actually having Vader face Luke Skywalker. Because that actually happens in Empire Strikes Back.
Right,
but,
yeah.
I mean, it's too... it sucks saying it's low stakes because you know they're going to make it. But having this meeting happen or this collision happen, it's like, man, it doesn't really mean anything in grand scheme because we know that they're both gonna walk away. It's like, oh man, we're gonna blue balls you by having this near death experience for both Vader and fucking Luke.
Yeah.
While it is cool, it's you already know the outcome somewhat.
Right. Well, and that's what we were kind of alluding to for the teaser portion of this episode of like, it's low stakes for the main characters. If you've got main character energy, you're living. All right, Vader, Luke, Leia, Han, Chewie, R2, fucking C-3PO. All those, literally, that's like 3/4 of the characters, maybe even like 8/10 of the characters in this book that are named main character kind of esque people. They're all fine. Nothing major is going to happen. There are no major injuries or major fucking like deaths. And that's not to say that you need that to happen, essentially, to make this worth watching or worth reading. But it also does make it like it's being portrayed as, oh shit. Everybody in the book is like, oh God, what's going to happen? Is this, we got to get there to save Luke, or we got to get there because we got to kill Vader or whatever, right? But we all know that doesn't fucking happen. So it makes their urgency and their like immediacy of needing to do shit kind of just seem pointless because you're like, oh, we already know that you guys don't, and we already know this doesn't work. But when Aphra gets involved, that's where things, for me at least, got interesting when she inserted herself into this. Because obviously she knew, oh fuck, Vader's gonna be pissed. He's gonna think I fucking set him up. I gotta go save his bitch ass now. So when she inserted herself into this and started becoming an issue, it was cool to see that because you didn't really know. I didn't know what the fuck was gonna happen with Aphra. And you get this cool little back and forth between her and Han Solo at one point where they're like kind of squaring off against each other, and basically they shoot Han Solo's like, I got this bitch right underneath one of those honey fucking, what are they called, like, or wasps, or those worm wasps, or whatever the fuck they are. Like, I got her underneath this nest, this dumb bitch. And then he's literally thinking in his head, this dumb bitch, I got her cornered, as she's looking through her binoculars and sees one right above fucking his head too. And at the same time, they both shoot theirs, and they get themselves covered with the fucking the
goo
worms
and the bees.
Yeah,
and
and that was fucking pretty hilarious. But also, Han Solo is afraid of her. Like, that's what's crazy, is he, like, her reputation does precede her. And, because he knows who she is. She doesn't really, she's like, I mean, other than, you're some hero of the rebellion. You don't look like a fucking hero of the rebellion, basically. You look like a fucking single father alcoholic fucking rolling around the galaxy with your fucking pet Wookiee, essentially. And so that was kind of funny to see that, and interesting to see that. And when you get to the point where Leia is there and she's like, no, we're going, bitch. Like, we're going to go do this. Han's trying to talk her out of doing it. She ain't fucking having it. She's like, this is our one chance to kill Vader. He's alone. Fucking, we got him outnumbered. If any chance we have to kill this motherfucker, it's got to be now. Like, we got to kill this dude. And obviously she wants to kill him because, he blew up her entire fucking planet in front of her. Well, technically Tarkin did it, but, he's dead, so she's fucking holding Vader fucking responsible. So when she gets there, you see like the Padme come out of her, because she's like, they're like, oh, princess, like, you're gonna stay here at the base, and she's like, no, bitch, give me a helmet and some body armor and a rifle, and we're gonna go out and kill this motherfucker. Like, I want to be the one that kills this dude myself. And that's badass. That was just pretty badass, man. I have to say.
Yeah, if anything, this series, this crossover event at least showcases Vader's strength with the Force to do some pretty cool things. Like, I think at the very start of it, he was surrounded by Leia and a bunch of rebel troopers. And I think he uses the Force to blow up a grenade and basically scatter everybody. And then he did a bunch of other shit. But that was like one of the things that I actually remember. So at least...
Yeah, he blows up a dude's grenade on his belt. Like, that was pretty sweet.
But it's just... You get to see Vader at his best, especially the thing that was mentioned earlier about using the Force to deflect... lasers from the X-Wings and just manipulating situations with the Force and shit. So it's like, man, it downplays what happens in the original trilogy to see such a display of the Force or what he's capable of doing. And all we've really gotten was him Force choking people and then throwing rubble at at Luke in Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
I'm like, shit, this is pretty neat. Like, it's happening in the comics, but we don't get to see that shit in the original trilogy.
Yeah, that's true. And obviously, it was because of the 1980s fucking,
It's limited by technology.
Yeah,
and shit.
what they could do, but we're getting to see like really how it was, in these types of things or whatever. So, there is a hilarious moment where Afra's trying to figure out. Oh, she's like, I can kidnap this motherfucker. So she's like, oh, dude, I gotta fucking get this guy. So they paint fucking 000 to look like C-3PO, and man, also showing the naivete of fucking Luke Skywalker. Like, why do you think C-3PO is fucking gonna be in the middle of this nowhere? Where the fuck did he come from? Why is he just walking up to you by himself? Wouldn't you think, hold on a minute there, buddy. What are you doing here, first of all? And R2 knows it. He's trying to tell him, and Luke's just like not hearing it.
Bleep.
Yep. And he's just like, shut up, R2, you fucker. And this, like, 000 goes and literally fucking electrocutes him and fucking knocks him out, like tasers him toast. He's laying there, he's toasted. And so fucking R2 starts talking shit to him, and BT shows up, and he's like, oh, this little droid wants this fucking, what a foul-mouthed little droid this is. And then fucking like R2 pulls out the little electrical thing that he's like, he shocks people with, and then BT literally unloads and shows all of his fucking the miniguns, the rocket launchers, all the shit that he has, and then R2's like, fuck, like shit, why did I do this? And then it was cool for them to fucking blow up the whole goddamn Jedi temple or whatever. That was pretty sweet.
Yeah, and I thought, again, they don't push it far enough.
Yeah,
They give you a little bit of a teaser for things, but they really don't go all in. And it's 50-50 for me. I think this being a plot point about Luke seeking out Vogravas, the planet, because there's a Jedi temple there, and what we see is Luke looking into this Force portal or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
And I think he sees, or he hears Obi-Wan, I think, and also there was something about Anakin.
Well, yeah, it's Qui-Gon, and he's talking about Anakin, saying he's the chosen one.
Oh, okay.
And it's him like, because you hear, because it's hard to understand what it is, but you hear Anakin, like, Anakin drop, like you hear that thing, like that happened in episode 1. You hear that Anakin drop, like you hear that portion of it, and then you hear him saying, it's like he's talking to the Jedi Council, and he's like, he is the chosen one. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. And then basically him saying like, no, I'm gonna train this motherfucker. And then you get to kind of see like, so this was the tendrils of the beginnings of like, oh, Luke is getting reached out to. And it's not just old Ben, it's like fucking Qui-Gon's trying to get in on this. Like everything's starting to come to him a little bit. And I feel like they did that to sort of tie in the shit that they were doing with Rey in episode 7 or whatever, with the whole thing about how, oh, she touches the lightsaber and then it fucking gets all these like voices of the Force coming to tell her
it's
shit.
like a convergence of shit on her.
Yeah, so I feel like that's kind of like what they're alluding to, like, is, oh, this happened to Luke too.
And also Vader possibly being a Force ghost.
Yeah.
Well, as Anakin, not
right.
Vader.
Already there. Like, which is it's an interesting concept, because then it pushes the thing further that the Force is not. It's a separate entity, right? But it exists unto itself. So like, it's not linear like time is for them. Like, oh yeah, Anakin exists as a Force ghost already, but not as. But like, even though in their time he's still alive, it hasn't happened yet. But the Force is like all at once happening. You know what I'm saying? Like everything is happening all at once. It's not like linear.
Yeah, because I mean, Vader in the Obi-Wan series said he died. I think he died on Mustafar.
Yeah.
When he got incinerated from the flames of the volcano and shit. Well, that's what he tells Obi-Wan. So it's like, well, is that the beginning of Anakin as a Force ghost or whatever you want to call it? Or like, if you're talking about the non-linear time, if everything's just kind of like a singularity in the Force,
yeah, then
this kind of lends to that discussion, I suppose, with that little Jedi temple. So
right, yeah.
The BT-0, 000, or BT and 000 blow up the fucking thing on accident, and then Dr. Aphra comes to the rescue of Darth Vader, and then Chrysanthemum Black or Black Chrysanthemum.
Oh shit, yeah, that's right, because she calls him in for help.
And then Chewie, in the midst of Dr. Aphra and Han Solo fighting, Chewie and Chrysanthemum Black are also fighting, and Wookiee. Chewie's actually getting his ass whooped, and then it comes with the help of, I think, the droids, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, one of them electrocutes. They use
like some kind of toxin.
Yes. Oh, yeah, that's right. Because remember when Chewie rips off fucking what's his name, 000's arms? He fucking has a little he's got those little things in his arm, like that toxin. So that shoots. They shoot Chewie with that.
Yeah.
And then that fucking puts him down. And then now Han has to fucking help do that. And I think Aphra gets electrocuted or something like that by BT or 000's arms.
Yeah, and there was a lot of, in terms of football, it was turnovers. Luke was in the hands of the Empire at one point, and then Dr. Aphra is, and then it kind of switches back and forth a lot. And I forgot what else happens, but that's kind of like the bulk of what happens.
Yeah, that's the main gist of it. And then at the end, basically, the rebels end up capturing Dr. Aphra, and Vader gets off planet or whatever, and Aphra fucking detonates her ship to save him, and so Vader takes BT and 000, and dude, man, they're like now Vader's little minions too. Like, it's fucking great because they're like, oh yes, Lord Vader, oh I can't wait to kill people. Like, that was pretty funny. And I forget what he says. There's like a line that he says right at the end of it. I'll have to pull it up real quick. But I think it was in Vader 15.
I think there's like an ongoing theme or subplot about Vader having like an affinity for droids at this point. I don't know if that means he hates humans, or humanoids even, but he certainly likes the fact that droids are obedient and they're at least loyal. So like, they're not really going to give him issues, and evidently fucking BT and 000 are his utmost allies at this point.
Yeah. You know what? It's in the next issue. It was after this. It was because I read the next issue as well. Yeah. Because that's the next one we're gonna do on Sunday. So, but it's in that issue when they say that the shit about they're like Vader's minions in the back and like it's all fucking whatever. And Vader's like, eh. So, but now they're gonna go on a rescue mission to basically fucking rescue Aphra.
And yeah, the droids were like swapping body parts.
That was cool. It was like you said, it was that football turnover fucking shit. It was just like, oh shit, these guys have it. That's what kept it interesting, was even though we know no major shit's gonna happen, right? But it's like, oh shit, these guys have it. Oh shit, now they're gonna, oh shit. And in the end, basically, Africa, like you said, gets kidnapped by the rebellion, and now Vader's gonna have to do something about that.
And it's funny, I think somewhere in the middle of the story, after Vader is seemingly cornered, Leia is in the hands of Vader, but he can't exactly kill her for some reason. And they just have like this long-winded exchange about like what's at stake for each side. Is like, oh man, it'd be a real luxury to kill you right now. And then he's like, well, I got you right here too. You're the leader of the Rebel Alliance, and if I take you out, then we're looking up as far as the Galactic Empire goes, and having no enemy. Well, not having no enemies. It's like, for a terrorist group to have their leader removed, I mean, it's like getting set back majorly.
Yeah, exactly. And so at the end here, it was pretty cool to see fucking when Aphra has them like in this, like, I'm assuming this fake minefield that she's bullshitting them about. Mm-hmm. And Leia just comes in and just fucking cold cocks her and knocks her the fuck out. And that's it. Then they kidnap her. This right here, this was traced from a scene in the movie right here. Yeah, this fucking exact like thing. That's fucking
even
crazy. Even
one.
This right here, this was this 100%. They just traced this. But yeah, fucking there they go off into the sunset. And basically, Luke, at the end, he does say, like, well, I was close to this, but fuck, now I'll never know, man, because that shit's blown up. But all in all, I enjoyed it. I thought this was a fun read, this little event. It was very entertaining. I was sports entertained out of sports entertained, that is for sure. So I thought they did a pretty good job with it, even though, like we said, the stakes were kind of low. Like, it was kind of But with that in mind, they still did a good job. So I enjoyed it. So what about you?
I was entertained out of sports entertained.
All right.
I think the one thing that this series still has going for it is that there's still the element of surprise, not knowing how the next, I don't even know where we're at, like the next 9 issues play out.
Yeah.
For us even knowing how things play out in the original trilogy, there's still the element of surprise leading to the end of this series. It's like, oh, where could they go to add more context to Star Wars itself, Vader, the original trilogy? How could they make this more meaningful with only 9 issues left? So not knowing how this is going to end, I'm still intrigued by the series.
Yeah, so am I. So I can't wait to keep reading it and keep it going. So anyways, all right, well, that'll be it for us for this one. If you want to listen to more of our shit, go to Game Rage Magazine on YouTube. Like, comment, and subscribe. You can follow us on Instagram and TikTok, Game Rage Magazine, Twitter/X at Game Rage Mag. You can follow Adam at All Gas No Trash Official, and you can follow Frank at Anime_Syndicate_podcast. All right, that's it. We'll catch you on the next one.
All right.
That was Panel to Panel, the Game Rage Magazine comic book podcast. Thanks for listening. If you want to know more and follow along, go to Instagram and TikTok. Follow at Game Rage Magazine. If you want to follow on Twitter/X at Game Rage Mag. Tune in next time.